Be prepared. In less than 48 hours, the universe is about to hand you the riskiest opportunity you'll get all year, and I'm not exaggerating. Wednesday, March 18th isn't just another day. It's a cosmic gamble, a high-stakes moment where the two planets of fortune, Venus and Jupiter, collide in the most explosive way possible. Most people have no idea what's about to unfold. They'll wake up on Wednesday feeling restless, maybe a little reckless, and they won't understand why. But you're about to know exactly what's happening. Because this isn't random. This is the universe literally screaming at you to take the leap you've been too afraid to take. And if you've been feeling pulled towards something, a person, an investment, a decision that feels both terrifying and thrilling at the same time, keep watching. Because there's one specific reason why this pull is so strong right now, and I'll explain exactly what it means later. So stay tuned. But first, you need to understand why the next 48 hours are crucial, because ignoring this might not just be a missed opportunity, it could be the difference between staying stuck where you are and breaking into a completely new reality. The setup: you've been walking through fire without knowing it. Here's what nobody told you. Since March 6th, when Venus entered Aries, you've been in a cosmic pressure cooker. Venus, the planet of love, money, and everything you value, stepped into the warrior's territory. And she didn't come to play nice. Venus in Aries doesn't wait. She doesn't compromise. She doesn't ask for permission. She takes what she wants, and she takes it now. And for the past 10 days, she's been moving through one of the most intense gauntlets of the entire year. On March 7th, she merged with Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and boundless possibility. That was the moment you felt it, that rush of inspiration, that sudden clarity about what you truly want. Maybe it was a person. Maybe it was a vision for your future. Maybe it was a financial opportunity that seemed too good to be true. But then, just one day later on March 8th, reality hit hard. Venus collided with Saturn, the cosmic teacher, the planet of limitations and hard truths. And if you've been feeling restricted, blocked, or like something is holding you back, that was Saturn forcing you to get real about what's actually possible. And here's where it gets intense. On March 10th, Venus made contact with Pluto, the planet of transformation, power, and complete rebirth. That contact changed everything. It radicalized your desires. It made you ruthless about what you're willing to accept and what you're ready to walk away from. So by now, after running this brutal obstacle course, Venus isn't the soft, romantic energy most people think she is. She's battle-hardened, she's impatient, she's ready to take the biggest risk of the year, and on Wednesday, she's going to demand that you do the same. Jupiter just woke up, and he's hungry. While Venus has been marching through fire, something else has been building in the background, something massive. On March 10th, Jupiter, the great benefic, the planet of expansion, wealth, and opportunity, woke up from a 4-month sleep. Since November 2025, Jupiter has been retrograde, moving backward through Cancer. And here's what that meant. Everything Jupiter governs, growth, abundance, faith, security, was turned inward. You couldn't see the progress. You couldn't feel the expansion. It was happening beneath the surface, deep in your emotional foundation, forcing you to get clear on what real security actually means to you. But on March 10th, Jupiter stationed direct, and not just anywhere, at 15 degrees of Cancer, the exact degree of his maximum power. This is Jupiter operating at full strength, at his most exalted, most abundant, most generous state. When a planet stations, it's like a cosmic pause button. The energy concentrates, it burns into that exact spot in the sky with laser-like intensity. And now, after months of internal recalibration, Jupiter is ready to explode outward. He's ready to expand, to grow, to shower blessings on those who are ready to receive them. The pressure has been building, the emotional clarity you've gained over the past 4 months, it's about to demand manifestation in the physical world. And in less than 48 hours, that pressure is going to meet Venus's impatient fire. And when they collide, everything changes. Wednesday, March 18th, the day everything explodes. Let's be clear about what's happening. On Wednesday at noon, Venus at 15 degrees of Aries will form an exact 90-degree square to Jupiter at 15 degrees of Cancer. This is a mathematical collision. This is precision cosmic friction. And squares, they don't play nice. A square is the universe forcing you to evolve through conflict. It's the aspect that refuses to let you sit still. It creates tension so unbearable that you have no choice but to act. But here's what makes this different from any other square. These are the two benefics. Venus and Jupiter are traditionally the good planets, the ones associated with luck, pleasure, abundance, and grace. When they're working together harmoniously, life feels easy, things flow, opportunities appear out of nowhere. But when they square each other, you get too much of a good thing, you get excess, you get the overwhelming desire to have it all right now without compromise. You get the most dangerous kind of optimism, the kind that makes you believe nothing can go wrong. And that's exactly why this is the universe's biggest risk, because the line between bold confidence and reckless stupidity has never been thinner. The war inside you, freedom versus security. Here's the real conflict. Venus in Aries wants absolute freedom. She wants independence. She wants the thrill of the chase, the adrenaline of conquest, the rush of doing exactly what she wants without asking anyone's permission. Jupiter in Cancer wants the exact opposite. He wants deep emotional security. He wants to build something lasting. He wants to nurture, to protect, to create a foundation so strong that nothing can shake it. So on Wednesday, you're going to feel this war inside you. Part of you will want to run wild, to break free, to chase the thing that excites you, even if it destroys everything you've built. The other part of you will want to play it safe, to protect what you have, to avoid risking the security you've worked so hard to create. And the tension between these two forces, it's going to be unbearable. It's going to feel like you're being pulled in two completely opposite directions at the same time, like you're standing at a crossroads and both paths are screaming at you to choose them. Most people will freeze. They'll feel the pressure and do nothing, or worse, they'll make an impulsive decision they'll regret, giving into the fire without considering the consequences. But you're about to understand exactly how to navigate this, because there's a way to win this game, and it requires doing something most people think is impossible. The biggest love risk that pays off. Let's talk about what this means for your heart, for your relationships, for the connections that matter most. If you're single, Wednesday might bring a sudden, intense attraction to someone who feels completely different from your usual type, someone who makes your heart race, someone who represents freedom, adventure, excitement. The chemistry will be undeniable. The pull will be magnetic. And here's the trap. Jupiter is going to amplify this attraction to the point where you convince yourself this person is the one after knowing them for 5 minutes. You'll ignore the red flags. You'll overlook the practical incompatibilities. You'll be so intoxicated by the possibility that you'll forget to ask the important questions. But if you're conscious, if you're aware of this energy, there's a different way to play it. The love risk that pays off on Wednesday is the one where you pursue the excitement while staying grounded in your truth. It's being brave enough to express exactly what you want without pretending to be someone you're not. It's having the radical honesty conversation, the one where you say, here's what I need, here's what I can't compromise on, and if that doesn't work for you, I'd rather know now. And if you're already in a relationship, Wednesday is when the truth comes out. The things you've been avoiding saying because you didn't want to rock the boat, they're going to demand to be said. The part of you that feels suffocated, that craves more freedom, more independence, more space to be yourself, it's not going to stay quiet anymore. The relationship risk that pays off is the one where you trust that real love can handle your authenticity. That deep emotional security doesn't require you to sacrifice who you are. That the relationship actually gets stronger when you stop performing and start being real. Because here's what Venus in Aries square Jupiter in Cancer is really teaching us. You don't have to choose between passion and security. You don't have to sacrifice freedom for commitment. The universe is showing you that it's possible to have both, but only if you're brave enough to demand it. The biggest money risk that pays off. Now let's talk about what this means for your wallet, your investments, your financial future. Venus governs money, currency, daily spending, and how you value things. Jupiter governs expansion, big opportunities, institutional wealth, and long-term growth. When they square each other, financial decisions get amplified to an extreme. The shadow side of this is obvious: reckless spending, draining your savings account for something you want right now, taking on debt you can't afford, throwing money at a speculative investment without doing any research because you're convinced it's going to make you rich. And on Wednesday, that impulse is going to be strong. You're going to feel like money is unlimited, like resources will magically appear, like you can afford to take the gamble because Jupiter's going to protect you. But here's the thing most people miss. Jupiter isn't operating weakly right now. He's in his sign of exaltation, at his exact degree of maximum power. This isn't a reckless Jupiter. This is a Jupiter that understands the value of building something real, something lasting, something that provides genuine security. So the money risk that pays off on Wednesday is the one that uses aggressive action to build long-term stability. It's negotiating hard for the salary you deserve because you know it's going to secure your family's future. It's making the bold investment in real estate, in something tangible and foundational, even though it scares you. It's launching the business you've been planning for months, not because you're impulsive, but because you've done the work and you know the foundation is solid. The universe is rewarding calculated courage. It's rewarding people who can harness the fire of Aries to build the sanctuary of Cancer. Short-term aggression in service of long-term security, that's the financial formula that wins on Wednesday. What nobody's telling you about this day. Here's what makes March 18th even more intense. The square isn't the only thing happening. At 4:20 in the afternoon, just a few hours after the Venus-Jupiter collision, the Sun forms an exact sextile to Uranus, the planet of sudden breakthroughs, lightning-strike insights, and unexpected opportunities. This is the safety net. This is the universe saying, you took the leap, here's the solution you couldn't see before. Uranus in Taurus is going to deliver a sudden, practical, grounded opportunity that validates the risk you took earlier in the day. An unexpected offer, a flash of genius, a door opening exactly when you need it. And then, at 9:30 at night, the new moon perfects in the final degrees of Pisces. This is the cosmic reset button, the moment where everything that's been chaotic, confusing, and overwhelming throughout the day suddenly makes sense. The new moon is asking you to surrender, to trust, to let go of the need to control every outcome. So Wednesday isn't just a single moment of tension, it's an entire journey. The explosive risk at noon, the brilliant breakthrough in the afternoon, the spiritual surrender at night. It's a complete cycle of death and rebirth compressed into a single day. The strange thing your body will do. Remember at the beginning when I said if you've been feeling pulled towards something, there's a specific reason. This is it. Since Jupiter stationed direct on March 10th, your body has been responding to the shift in cosmic pressure. You might have noticed a restlessness you can't shake, an electricity under your skin, a feeling that you need to move, to act, to do something, even if you don't know what. This isn't anxiety, this is your nervous system picking up on the building energy of Wednesday's square. Your body knows something massive is coming, even if your conscious mind hasn't figured it out yet. And on Wednesday, this physical sensation is going to peak. You might feel your heart racing for no reason. You might feel a tightness in your chest, a pressure that feels both exciting and terrifying at the same time. Some people report feeling hot, flushed, like adrenaline is flooding their system. This is normal. This is your body preparing for the leap. It's the same feeling you get right before you jump off a high dive, right before you confess your feelings, right before you make any decision that could change everything. Don't fight it, don't numb it, feel it fully, because that physical sensation is your body's way of telling you that you're alive, that you're on the edge of something real, that this moment matters. The people who will lose on Wednesday. Not everyone is going to navigate this successfully, and it's important to know what failure looks like so you can avoid it. The people who will lose on Wednesday are the ones who give in completely to the impulsive fire without any grounding. They'll quit their stable job on a whim without a backup plan. They'll end a long-term relationship because they're bored and think the grass is greener. They'll drain their savings on something shiny and new without thinking about next month's bills. These are the people who mistake recklessness for bravery, who confuse impulse for intuition, who think that Jupiter's protection means they don't have to be responsible for their choices. And the universe will let them learn the hard way, because that's what squares do. They force lessons through consequences. The other group who will struggle are the ones who freeze completely, who feel the tension and retreat into paralysis, who let fear convince them to stay exactly where they are, even though they're miserable, who watch opportunities pass by because they're too terrified to reach for them. These people will look back on Wednesday with regret, wishing they had been brave enough to act when the window was open. The people who will win on Wednesday. The winners are the ones who understand the assignment. They feel the fire of Venus in Aries, but they channel it toward building the security of Jupiter in Cancer. They take the bold risk, but it's rooted in a deep understanding of what they truly need. They're the ones who have the difficult conversation with their partner, not to blow up the relationship, but to make it stronger, who ask for vulnerability and give it in return, who trust that real love can handle honesty. They're the ones who make the aggressive financial move, but it's in service of creating lasting stability, who invest in their future, not their ego, who understand that wealth is built on foundations, not fantasies. They're the ones who listen to their body's wisdom, who trust their intuition, who know when to leap and when to land. They synthesize the opposites instead of choosing between them. And these are the people who will look back on March 18th, 2026, as the day everything changed, as the moment when they stopped playing small, as the threshold they crossed into a bigger, bolder, more authentic life. Why this moment won't come again? Here's what you need to understand. This exact alignment won't repeat for years. Venus squares Jupiter regularly, but not like this. Not with Jupiter freshly direct at his exact degree of exaltation. Not with Venus battle-hardened from her journey through Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto. Not with Uranus and the new moon providing the support structure on the same day. This is a once-in-a-cycle event. The cosmic architecture is too specific, too precise, too perfectly timed to be random. It's a window, and windows close. After Wednesday, Venus will continue moving through Aries, eventually entering her home sign of Taurus on March 30th. The fire will cool, the pressure will release, the urgency will fade, and the opportunity that felt so alive on March 18th might not feel the same 2 weeks later. This isn't about creating false urgency. This is about recognizing that certain moments carry more potential than others, that there are times when the universe is leaning in, paying attention, ready to meet you halfway. And Wednesday is one of those times. What to do right now? You have less than 48 hours to prepare. Here's what that looks like. First, get brutally honest with yourself. What do you actually want? Not what you think you should want. Not what would make other people happy. What does the deepest, most authentic part of you desire? Write it down, say it out loud, let yourself feel the full weight of that wanting without immediately talking yourself out of it. Second, identify the risk. What would you have to do, say, or choose to move toward that desire? What's the leap that scares you? What's the conversation you've been avoiding? What's the decision you've been putting off? Third, check your foundation. Is this risk rooted in building something real, or is it just an escape from what you have? Are you running towards something or just running away? Jupiter in Cancer demands that the leap serves long-term security, not just short-term excitement. And finally, on Wednesday, when you feel that pull, that pressure, that undeniable sense that it's time, trust it. Take the leap. Have the conversation. Make the move. The universe is backing you, but only if you're brave enough to act. The aftermath, what comes next? The story doesn't end on Wednesday. On March 20th, just 2 days later, 2 massive shifts occur. Mercury stations direct, ending weeks of retrograde confusion and miscommunication. and the sun enters Aries, marking the astrological new year. The mental fog lifts, the path forward becomes clear, the risks you took on Wednesday start to solidify into concrete reality. And by March 30th, when Venus enters Taurus, her home sign, the wild, terrifying gamble you made will have transformed into something beautiful, stable, and real. The chaos becomes peace, the risk becomes reward, the leap becomes landing. But all of that depends on what you do in the next 48 hours, on whether you're willing to feel the fear and act anyway, on whether you trust that the universe rewards the brave. Because Wednesday, March 18th, 2026, is the biggest love and money risk of the year, and it's also the one that pays off. The question is, are you ready? If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.